What's up, everyone? Thanks for joining me for another video. If you're new to the channel, this is my 240SX right here. Hold on. Right there. It's RB25 swapped. Built engine. I did it myself, first time ever, and it worked out so far. It hasn't blown up yet. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. And let's get to the video, I guess. So I kind of did like a tucked harness in the engine bay. Let me pop the hood quick. Hold on. So I kind of did a not fully tucked like amazingly, but it's a halfway tucked harness. You see it coming out over there and whatever. Fuse box used to be over there, and now it's in the car. So I moved the fuse box into the car. It's a little messy right now, but it's very dark. Also, let me get a flash. Let me get a light. A little messy in here, but what's left of the fuse box is up here. I was able to delete a bunch of stuff off of the fuse box and condense it down a little bit, so it's only like maybe 2 fuse blocks now with stuff being powered off of it. Ran that in. I made like a little relay panel, which is back here, right there. I do have a video on that, so if you want to check out, if you want to learn how to make a relay panel, slash fuse panel, fuse box or whatever, I'll link that up here. Check that video out too. And the last thing I did for like the wiring was I made like a little switch panel thing to, what was that noise? I made like a little switch panel thing to power a bunch of extra stuff like the fans, the fueling, ignition and stuff like that. I push button start. I have an accessories switch on it for basically the gauges right now, and then I think if it's not on, I think that also powers like the headlights maybe, and also like the windshield wipers. But this is the fuse. This is the switch panel. So I also have a video kind of going over on how to make something along the lines of that, and also that. Let me walk around to the other side. And also this diamond plate panel, mounted the gauges in it, and the switch panel. So that's where we are with that. Now the original piece that was there, it had a cigarette lighter port, whatever, to power 12 volt stuff. So right now there's nothing in the car to power. Like if I want to charge a cell phone, I do have a radar detector. I'm not sure if I'm ever going to put that in. Actually, I might, because it has GPS, and then I'll be able to get a speed, since my gauge cluster doesn't work at the moment. So what I bought off Amazon is very, very simple. This is a 2-pack. You could get them one. They're very cheap. This is a cigarette lighter. So I'm going to find a spot to put this in the car, probably like center console somewhere, and then I'll show you guys how to wire it. It comes with the wires. It's very simple. It's just need a power on the ground. So let's get into this, and should be a quick one. I just got to find a spot that I'm going to mount it, and yeah. Now this is a, I guess it's kind of like marine-ish, because it has this cap on it to make it weatherproof. Hold on, let me open it. Kind of makes it like weather tight. If you don't know how this works, the outside, the metal in here, of course we're not going to focus right now, right? The metal in here around the rim is the ground, and then all the way in the back is the power. That thing right there is the power. Very simple, 2 wires. All I just got to do is figure out a spot that I'm gonna want to drill a hole into this, into my little area here, and then just mounting this and then wiring it back all the way back to my little relay panel back there. But there are other ways to do it. So ideally, maybe like there would be the best spot, or oh yeah, I pulled this off. I was originally thinking like right here through this, but there's a support bar across here, and there's not enough room on the back side to drill it in. Ideal would be right there, but I don't feel like taking this off to drill this, so I'm trying to think of like other options. My other option might be right here, but then I still have to take the center console out. Might be able to do it right there, and then running wire would be just underneath this. Run it with these guys back to my relay panel back there. So I'll probably wind up doing it right in here. So let me start taking this, take this out, and then bring it over there. So as far as I remember, it's well, I think normally there would be screws here, but I have this zip tie here, so I'll clip the zip tie off. Take that guy out. Oh, there is a screw. There's a screw right there. Just gonna lose that. There, you got screws in. Can't really see these screws in here. Let me take these out quick. All right, I forgot where we kind of left off, but because I had a little trouble taking this center console out. I do have a kill switch hooked up, and the wires were like ran through the back, and it's very tight in there, and it's very annoying to take out. But in a 240SX like mine, S14, there's also the clip here for your mirror adjustment. Just got to undo that plug at the bottom, then kind of like slide it forward and lift out. Pretty simple to take it out. Now, what I'm trying to do, I might, where did I put this thing? I'm probably going to wind up cutting this up a little bit. I'm thinking of putting it right here. My workbench is a mess. I'm thinking of putting it right here. So I might actually cut this out and then maybe make some sort of little panel that I could mount this in here with. And then it'll look pretty, it'll be pretty legit. I could even make it almost like a little L bracket and put it bolted in through there, so it'll be nice and tight. But we're looking at it like this spot right here. Alright, so got that piece. I could have cut it out a little bit cleaner, but it's good enough. I mean, it's a 240, so it's, the interior itself already is like a little iffy. But got that mounted up. I just drilled it in from the other side, so there's a little screw there. There's nowhere else to really screw it in, so got that mounted up. Now we're gonna figure out where I want to put this guy. Probably just dead center. Probably just around there somewhere. Then you got to worry about drilling the hole big enough for this guy and getting this mounted in there, and then we could worry about wiring it. So I guess I'll just drill a hole centered. Since I don't have a drill bit big enough for this, obviously I'm just gonna use my Dremel and, as neat as possible, bore it out. So I got it about good. I found like a slightly bigger drill bit, and then I started with the Dremel, and the Dremel was too small. And actually, the best thing I found to do was a file, because it is aluminum. This piece of diamond plate, very like rough file. It worked pretty good. The hole isn't perfect, but you're not gonna really see it. But I'm just gonna clean that up. But and then, like you see, can't even see any of the non-circleness. Gonna clean up the stuff. Gonna clean up like the little shards on it, tighten it on with the little ring, then bolt it back into the center console, and then we can actually worry about wiring it, which is the easy part of this. If you have a spot to put this already, then this whole project should take like 5 minutes, but I obviously don't have a spot to put it and making it work. So let me clean this up, then throw it on. Alright, so it's time to get this back into the car, and we gotta wire it a little bit. So forgot to look at this. Alright, so we got a wire. This isn't gonna be long enough, but I can extend it. Alright, so we got that. That's for my kill switch that I have wired into the back over there. Just an extra thing. These are the wires coming off the plug. That light is very bright if I look that way. It's got to plug in the guy for the mirrors as this goes on. So I got this thing all wired up now. It was pointless to show you guys because it's just making a couple wire connections, but the red wire I have going, oh, let's get in here. Red wire going over there. Can't see if you could see anything. Red wire going there. The black wire is going to ground over there. I will neaten this up, basically just a bunch of zip ties and stuff. Now it's time to try this plug out. So if I wired it up correctly, when I flip this switch over here, it should go on. When I flip this switch, this radar detector should go on. And if not, I'm gonna have to switch the thing on the relay, because I don't remember if you want white or yellow. I don't remember which one sends the power. So let's try this out. Okay. Yeah. We good. If you don't have a power source like that you could flip the switches on and off, you go through your, I guess you could look on the inside of your car. There's usually a fuse box down there next to the feet. You could look online to see which ones are, or you could use like a fluke meter, power probe, some sort of voltmeter to check whichever one is ignition on. So that would mean that the power is usually off all the time until you turn the ignition, which acts as your switch, like my little flip switch. That would turn that 12 volt plug on. If it's an always on power source, you're gonna drain your battery. So find an ignition source. So that whole I guess fiasco, I don't know, whatever. The hardest part about that was making a little bracket to
bracket mounting point or whatever to mount the actual cigarette lighter thing. The other one's still in the packaging, so to mount this, it was annoying. That took the longest. Wiring up literally took about 5 minutes, and it only took that long because I had to get up and get wire and then go back to the car. So, I mean, it's simple as hell. So I want to thank you guys for joining me on this video of wiring up a thing, power, whatever, cigarette lighter, 12-volt outlet for that. Now I'll actually be able to charge my phone in the car if I go on a trip and I need GPS, because I usually never know where I'm going, so I usually use the GPS. Be able to charge my phone, or actually radar detector if I put it in, I'll wind up hardwiring it somewhere, so I won't have to use that plug, but I could always add another one if I need to. So now we finally set up with the power in there, and we'll be able to do, I don't know, stuff. So thanks for joining me. If you're not subscribed already, subscribe, because we could do some more awesome content with this car. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers, so that is awesome. So if you know anyone that might be interested in the videos, send them my way. Have them subscribe, and comment, like, whatever you want to do. Just make sure you subscribe. Have a good day, man.